or welcome to, if you've never been before. And if you've never been before, how about that? Or how about that? Subscribe if you can. Get us to 70,000. I don't want to. Then don't. Just listen to the review. How about that? You can figure it out at the end if you want to subscribe. If you have already subscribed, thanks for being part of the cool kids. For the rest of you that won't hit that subscribe button, then that's just an issue you're going to have to deal with in the mirror. How are you? Nice to see you. How you been? Cool. It is The Rings of Power, everybody. It's episode 6, I think. I think that's true. Of the show. And is it 6 or 7? I don't even remember. I gotta look. I'm gonna tell you right now. See, that's the sell to subscribing is the research. Right now. What the hell episode is this? Rings episode. We're gonna say 6 and leave it at that. Is that the truth? It is. I was right. I questioned myself and I shouldn't have. Anyway, this is the best episode, hands down. And again, why? Because there's no fucking Harfoots. That's why. These little bastards, they ain't running around anymore. They're going to be all over the place in episode 7, I'm sure. Farting around with chicken legs or whatever the hell they're doing. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just I'm not feeling the Harfoots. I did miss the dwarves. I missed Elrond, but I didn't need them. Didn't need them because there was shit going down in this one, man. This is about the most Lord of the Rings-ish out of all of them. There were some that felt it, but this is the first one I tweeted out the other day. Last night when I watched it, I tweeted out that there have been some episodes that have been good. There have been some episodes that have been okay. The series in general for me has just been okay. This episode was great. It was great. And there was full-on battles. It was brutal. I made the decision last night that I will not show my 10-year-old this show because of that scene with the mother when she gets shot with the arrow and the amount of blood coming out. Well, first of all, I don't know how she's just walking around. She lost a lot of blood. I mean, that's a lot of blood from both sides. And she's walking around like, I'm good. I heal like an X-Men. I'm fine. But you know, minus that one, she probably still should have been bedded up for a little bit. But I thought the Queen delivered. I like what they did with. I love the development with Halbrand, and the idea we finally get a confirmation that one elf, evil elf, that's not Sauron. We still don't know where Sauron is. Some people thought it was Halbrand, but doesn't look like it. He looks more like the king. Isildur is starting to take a little bit more stride, and he shows up to fight. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's good fighting, and the tide kept turning back and forth in this one. And how about the eruption of Mount Doom? And that's the biggest part of this whole thing. I'm like, the second that bastard puts the evil sword into the ground and shit starts popping off like Pompeii, I was like, oh, that's Mount Doom, man. That's it. That's how this place came to be. It's almost like for Star Wars fans out there, there's a great VR game that shows you how Mustafar came to be. And it reminded me of that. But there was just so much with we had our elf that was protecting the humans, and then and it was that back and forth. That's what I loved about the episode. It looked like it starts off. It's just like this. Okay, they cornered all the orcs. They got them. They did it. And then the orcs like, no, you can get shit. We're gonna get you guys. And then the orcs come back and they win the fight. And then they're like, okay, well then we're gonna do this and we're gonna win the fight. And the orcs like, nah, we're gonna do this. And then we get Numendor come in, and that whole crowd is like, oh, well, now it's over for the orcs. They're done. They captured. I think they still should have killed the dude, by the way. Armon or whatever his name is. They should have killed him. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I understand that both Galadriel and Harbrand had to go through that. They both had to save each other and say, chill, don't go to the dark side, let them live. I understand they have that Luke Return of the Jedi moment. They both have it, and they say thank you. I didn't want to go down that dark side, because he even says to her, oh, it looks like I'm not the only elf that embraced the dark side. And then she's about to take him out. And then, I don't think that they should have saved him. I think they should have took him out. I think, why do you need him alive? You take him out, because then they duped Galadriel. She's like, yeah, take this thing and give it to the kid. And our buddy gives it to the kid, says, all right, go tell him to throw it into the ocean. He's like, but this is just a hammer. The hell am I going to do with a hammer? And then it turns out they duped him. And then Mount Doom is created. I loved that. I thought it was great. Again, I'm not steeped in Tolkien lore. So it's very similar to me, like for the people who are like, this is not true to Tolkien. I can understand where you're going to get pissed off about it. The same way that people get pissed off about Game of Thrones and that type of thing, where it's like, this isn't true to the story. I haven't read it. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but I haven't read a lot of it. So all I got is what I'm looking at. And I haven't loved this show. I thought the show's been pretty dull for a lot of episodes. I love this episode. This is the first episode that I watched that I couldn't take my eyes off of, and I didn't check my phone at all, and I wasn't like, all right. This to me was the must-watch television I was hoping this show would be since episode 1. There have been some good episodes, and granted, a lot of the stuff that came before it led to the idea of being invested in these characters in order to get to where we are. So there's absolutely that you had, and it wasn't just about the fact that it was a big action thing. It was just a matter of it was the stakes, and it absolutely was everything that led to it. And I just think that there's sometimes, and I hate to keep shitting on the Harfoots, but it's like when I'm always just like, wrap it up with the Harfoots. I don't care about that storyline, and I could be absolutely wrong when it comes to them. They could do the same thing to me where I'm like, oh, look, this storyline was relevant. This storyline meant something. But I thought the mom was going to eat it a few times. I thought the kid might eat it. At one point I thought the kid went out to fight, and they realized that they were fighting some of their own because the orcs made the humans fight. I thought it was the kid, but it wasn't. The kid was going through his own shit, and he's like, don't kill my mom. Here's the sword. And I'll tell you, that whole scene was brutal. Like that's why I don't think I would. There's times, and I think there was one of the episodes where Harbrand was fighting those people in Numendor, and he was breaking arms. I'm like, oh, this is definitely they're trying to go Game of Thrones here. This is definitely more. They were graphic in the movies, the Peter Jackson movies, but I feel like this is more graphic. Like when the orcs are sticking the villagers through the chest with the swords and everything too. I was like, that was rough, effective, and I didn't think gratuitous, but rough. And especially when the mom got shot and they're sitting there trying to work on the mom and blood's coming out of her. I still don't know how she was walking around, but suspension of disbelief. I love the moment with Isildur and his dad when Doom starts forming. So I liked it. I dug the episode. I mean, it really is a battle episode for sure, and it shows. And it's the only. And again, I do like Galadriel. I know there's some people who don't like Galadriel. I like the progression of the character of where she's going. I'm getting tired of her hanging off the horse and showing like, hey, look, I can dodge everything. It's like, I don't need that. I know she's a badass and I can see more of it, but like, don't do the fancy camera. Oh, yes, it's the same thing in the stupid movies. And anytime there's a movie, one of the biggest cliches I hate, and it happens in every action movie, is this. Look at the thing over my head. I hate that stupid shot, and they did it like 3 times in this. Hanging off a horse. No, I get it. I know that she's an expert fighter. I don't need that. Well, what about when Legolas did it? That was repetitive with Legolas too. Is it cool? Sure. I don't need it. I don't need it. You need it? Good for you. I didn't ask you. Sure I did. I mean to be aggressive. Anyway, what'd you think of the episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I got to know. Am I crazy? I liked it. I want to know your thoughts. Go ahead. Tell me. All right, we got more stuff on this channel. A lot of stuff on this channel. So subscribe to it or go on your way. Go tell me where the Urukai are. All right. Just don't eat that thing you're not supposed to eat because it gives you gas. Bye.